What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I have the keys to the 2022 Ram 1500 TRX. Massive shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. They have an awesome selection of nearly brand new inventory, the largest that I've seen. Definitely check them out. But the TRX that you see behind me is finished off in black diamond crystal pearl, and it has a list price right over $104,000. To start off today's review, we're going to take a look at what powers the TRX. Underneath the hood, you'll find the 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi V8. This is paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 702 horsepower around 6,100 RPM and 650 pound-feet of torque around 4,800 RPM. This has the full-time four-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 6,400 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. It'll do the quarter mile in 12.9 seconds at 108 miles an hour, and it also has a top speed of 118 miles an hour. It also features a fuel capacity of 33 gallons, and you'll expect to see around 10 miles per gallon in the city and 14 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 145.1. Its overall length is 232.9. It has a width of 88, a height of 80.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 8 inches. And now as we work our way to the exterior for this TRX, we're going to start up front with the massive presence that this truck has. You'll see Ram in big hollow letters right in the middle of the grille. They're hollow because that allows for even more cooling to the engine. Along with the rest of the cutouts, you'll see that just below and then down in the lower section as well, where there's also a really cool trim piece separating both of the tow hooks on each side. We have a lot of cooling to this supercharged engine. There's even more cutouts in the functional hood scoop. You'll see the amber lights on the upper section. This truck is so wide that those are a regulation. And then on both sides of the headlights, we even have more cutouts. You can actually see all the way through to the back side of the side fender flare just to provide even more aerodynamics. This hood has really nice lines running all around it. We have functional heat extraction vents. You can see the 6.2 liter supercharged badge on both sides. Just gives it a really good look. This also has LED headlights and LED DRLs along with the turn signals. You'll see the housings have a really nice sleek design, and this also has LED fog lights too. You'll see all the plastic trim in the lower section of the bumper along with just up underneath the grille there. It really gives it a great design, and it matches nicely with the fender flare trim that you'll see on the side. This also has a set of 35-inch tires. You'll see the 18-inch wheels that are finished off in black have a really nice design to them. This truck also features the Bilstein suspension. We have around 13 inches of travel for the front and 14 inches of travel in the rear, so you can definitely take this off and have a lot of fun with it. You'll see we have the integrated turn signals in the side mirrors. This also has a full panoramic sunroof. You'll see that trim piece on the back side of the fender flare that corresponds with the one on the side of the headlight there. We also have a set of side steps on this model here. You'll see all the trim surrounding the windows is blacked out as well. And I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but this diamond black metallic has a really nice color in the sunlight. You can see it sparkle, which is of course great to see. We'll take a look at the rear suspension. We have the remote reservoirs as well, so you can definitely get all of that cooling for that suspension when you're running through the dunes or something like that. And then getting another side angle, you can see just how wide these fenders are, both front and rear. Definitely poke out, giving it a great stance. And then in the rear, we have the LED taillights on both sides. We have the backup camera. Ram is spelled out right in the middle. You can see TRX and 4x4. We have the dual exhaust on both sides, which will start up here soon. And this also has a towing capacity just over 8,100 pounds, along with the payload capacity right around 1,300 pounds. But let's go ahead and take a look at the bed now. We do have the soft open tailgate, so once you hit that, it will automatically lower down. You can see we have the bed here with all the tie-down hooks so you can safely secure items. This bed is just shy of 6 feet, so we still have a lot of space for any items you like to place in here. And then it's a very lightweight tailgate, so you can easily close it with one hand. But with the exterior wrapped up, let's go ahead and work our way to the back seats now, where you'll see the door panel has a really nice design to it. You can see the suede and leather along with the silver stitching. There's a really nice trim piece surrounding all of this here along with the release handle. We have a little bit of storage space right in the middle along with the entire lower section. And this model also has the 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. And then taking a look at these back seats now, you'll see we have more of the black leather, really nice bolsters on both sides. And at 5'10", it's time to work my way into the back where we have that side step along with a nice grab handle here. So it makes it very easy to jump up into here. And with the front seat set at my height, look at all of the space. I can almost extend my legs all of the way. We have a little bit of a storage pocket there. Along with these hooks here, you could place any equipment that you need, any tools you could easily put in there, which is really nice to see. And then as far as headroom goes, I have around 2 or 3 inches above my head. It's a massive truck. It's full size. So you could have 3 full-size people in the back seats, which is great to see. Right in the middle, if you don't have a middle seat passenger, you have 2 cup holders along with this armrest here. We also have the electronically sliding rear glass. I'll show that control here later. You can see some speakers up top. Plenty of visibility for your backseat passengers here. And then right in the middle, you can see 2 cup holders. We have all these auxiliaries where you can charge electronics, which is great, and the air vents on both sides and a little bit of storage space. We'll take a look from the back seats at this panoramic roof. You can see all the light that will come into the back, which is great. And then one thing that I love about these too is you can actually fold up the bottom rest. If you do that on both sides, you can get a look at all the storage that you have in the back. If you need to utilize it for that, you can see there's some compartments you can use. And then even up under the floor, we do have some hidden storage bins that are actually pretty deep. So you can put in some smaller items there and easily hide them up underneath the footwell. And then before we take a look at the front seats now, this truck does have remote start. So on the key fob here, if I lock it and then double tap this button here, it will automatically start up and we can hear this V8 come to life. It definitely sounds really good. We'll get some exhaust clips here in just a second. And then just by double tapping on that, you can unlock it if you'd like to. But now with it unlocked, we can move on to the door panel up front, where you'll see it's finished off just like in the rear. We have that same split design for the storage along with the lower section there. All of the window controls along with lock and unlock and the side mirror adjustments as well. And then we have the power operated seats. You can see all of those controls down below. On the front seats, however, we do have TRX right in the middle. A little bit more bolster support for these seats. Really nice two-tone design as well. But let's go ahead with the grab handle as well, just like you saw in the rear. We can jump up. It's very easy to enter and exit. And then moving on to the steering wheel, you'll see it's covered in solid and perforated leather. More of that silver stitching just gives it a great look. But let's fire this up again with my foot on the brake. We have that red engine start stop button and we can bring this to life. And you'll see on this gauge cluster, over on the left side is the tach and the engine temperature. On the right side is the fuel gauge and the miles per hour. And then right in the middle, we have a very large LCD screen where you can go through all of that info using these buttons over on the left side. You'll notice too that we have Bluetooth and voice commands. Over on the right side is all the cruise control settings. And we even have these massive paddle shifters on both sides, along with volume controls and tuning. They're right in the middle, so it's nice to see that split design. But going back to that center screen, you can currently see the miles per hour. If I scroll down, you can go to vehicle information and look at all of these vitals, just depending on what you'd like to see. You can quickly go through all of this. There is definitely a lot that you can go through. Looking at your power, you have your boost, all of these vitals that you can see, even the engine hours. You can go to the off-road, so you can look at your pitch and roll along with the degrees for your steering wheel and where your wheel articulation is. That is pretty awesome to see. You can look at your performance as well. This vehicle is brand new, so we're not past the break-in period yet. Some of those may not work, but we have a lot of these that we can go through. Lap timers, 0 to 60, all of your history and things like that. You can look at your fuel economy if that's important to you, all of your trip information along with your audio and messages. You even have your screen set up too, so you can see on all 4 corners. Currently it's showing the compass, the outside temperature, and then you have some voltage meters in the lower section. You can actually go through and configure these just depending on what you'd like to see. So if we go into the lower left, you can go through all of this just depending on what's most important for you. And then we can go back to any diagnostics and we're back to the speedometer. So it's really helpful to see that front and center. You can also see TRX in the upper section. And then as we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see down below we have the electronic parking brake along with the pedal adjustment. So just by pushing on these, you can adjust those as needed, just depending on your height, of course. We have all of the headlight and fog light adjustments along with the dimmer switches for the gauges. You'll see some leather and stitching along with one air vent. The entire dash is covered in leather. We even have more of that suede right in the middle. There's a nice little storage bin here along with a 12 volt. And then right in the middle, we have this very large screen in this vertical position. There's a lot that we can go through. I'm gonna start off with all the controls on both sides. So you'll see on this left side here, we have the temperature for driver. You have different modes, so where you'd like the air to go, along with the fan speed. Same thing over on the passenger side, along with some of the recircs and AC controls. You'll see the hazards up on the top. We also have volume on the left side, tuning is on the right side, and we have mute. You can also shut this screen off if you'd like to. If you just tap on it, it will automatically appear. And then in the lower section here, we have all the presets to go through all this information. So if I click on home, you can see we have the split screen here with the navigation currently on the top, and then the radio is on the bottom. You can go into the media if you want to just pull that up and go through all of that. If we go back to the climates, of course you can see that. You can sync these, you have the fan speed. You can use this to turn on the heated steering wheel. You can also shut that off along with these heated seats just by clicking on those icons. You can pull up the navigation in full screen. You have your phone when that is paired, of course. And then if you go into vehicle, you can also pull up the rear view camera, which we'll get to here soon. And then if you go into apps, you can look at all these apps here, just depending on what you like to use. You can quickly go through all of this. And then moving below that, you'll see we have a row of auxiliaries. So if you want to hook up compressors or outside lighting, you can quickly hook them up to these, which is really convenient to have. You'll see traction control, and then we do have an off-road cruise control, basically, is what that button is for, which is great to see. Over on this left side, you can see all the four-wheel drive settings for 4 high, 4 low. We even have the axle lock, launch control, and then different driving modes. So if we go to the center gauge cluster here, you can see custom. There's also mud and sand. We have rock, baja, and then you'll see sport mode. You'll also notice too that each setting has a different graphic. So that is really cool to see. There's snow and auto, and then we're back to custom. So just depending on how you want to drive this and where you're driving it, really nice to see that. You'll notice too that we have a good amount of storage space down below, along with some auxiliaries. You can place your phone up here if you'd like to. And then there's 2 cup holders over on this right side. You can hide those with this really nice trim piece if you need to. Right in the middle, we have the leather wrap shifter. If I put this into reverse, now we can pull up the backup camera so you can see those graphics along with the guidelines. We can also go all the way down into drive, pop it over into the sport mode setting, which allows you to use these paddle shifters, or you can shift using the shifter itself. And then just behind that, moving on to the center armrest now, you'll see we have more suede in the middle, along with this TRX plaque, which is really neat to see. There's 2 different storage areas in here. You can see a little bit in the upper section with a USB in the back. And then if I open this up, there's a lot more space. You can see a T-Rex in the lower section there, which is a really nice Easter egg to see. We have some coin slots in the front section and this conversion chart. So if you're using this as a work truck, you can use that if you need to. Over on the passenger side, you'll see we have 2 glove boxes. So there's a smaller one up top, and then we have the normal one down below. Plenty of room for all of that info. We'll take another look at this full moon roof. You can see the sun is out today, definitely provides a lot of sun. Up on the top here, you'll also notice too that we have a sunglass holder. You can open and close that rear glass along with the sunroof and the sunshade. We have the dome lights on both sides, along with some assistance buttons in the back. All right, so getting this 2022 Ram 1500 TRX out on the road. This is the second TRX that I've been able to drive in the last few years. And this is definitely a sweet truck. If you're looking for a full-size truck that has a lot of space, you can tow with it, but you also want all those off-road capabilities. Hopefully you've seen some other videos off-road of people jumping these and taking them in those situations where you can actually truly test this truck out. Now, most of the time it's probably going to be seeing the pavement, but it's really cool to see that you have a very, very capable truck, both on-road and for the off-road settings. So for today's video, obviously we are just staying on the pavement, and we do have a brand new truck, so I'm not doing anything too crazy with it. But so far it's riding very, very smooth. I love this Bilstein suspension. I have that in my own vehicle too. I've had it in some others, and it's a very, very soft suspension. We are currently in a custom mode right now. I won't be going into any of these other ones really, because they're all for the dirt, but I'll put it into sport mode here where we can at least use that on the road. That supercharger whine never gets old. I love driving Dodge vehicles that have the supercharger in them, especially in a truck like this. Now, we were able to drive one of our friend's TRXs. I'll link that down below if you really want to see stepping on it, hearing that supercharger whine even more, because that vehicle was owned, it was broken in. It's so crazy to see paddle shifters in a pickup truck. It sounds really good too. There's no exhaust note modes, so you kind of just get one exhaust note. to mild acceleration, we are up to speed. I love the fact that this is a daily driver. If you really need to use this truck, but you want to drive it every single day, it's really the best of both worlds. You have all these luxuries. We have this large screen here with a lot of info you can go through, really comfortable seats. I also just forgot to mention too, we have some storage pockets on both sides of the center stack area here too. So you even have some more storage, making it a lot more convenient. But this is a great daily driver. You can see the bulge in the hood there. It's a large truck. You can actually see those fender flares poke out a really good bit in these side view mirrors here. And we are line to line, but it's not hard to drive. If you've been in a pickup truck before, or even if you haven't, you could easily get used to this. We're gonna do a quick U-turn here. It has a pretty tight turning radius, which is great to see for such a big truck. This is a sweet truck. Definitely awesome. I love all these materials too. For the price you're paying for this truck, you wouldn't expect anything less. We even have some nice brush trim pieces on both sides of the air vents. It's definitely nice. I really can't pick anything apart on the interior here. Everything is top notch and what you'd expect for this kind of truck. And even accelerating around that turn, it handles well. You wouldn't think that for a pickup truck, but we have a lot of great performance. And then as far as visibility goes for this truck, while it is a big truck, it's very wide. You can see really well with these side view mirrors here. And then over my left and right shoulder, pickup trucks don't have any blind spots simply because the glass is right there and the pillars are not that big. So honestly, driving this truck, I own a Toyota Tacoma, so it's much smaller than this. Jumping into this truck now, it's really easy to get used to it because the visibility points are very similar. Even though we have a lot more girth to this truck, it's very easy to hop in it and go. We'll do one more slight acceleration as we come around this turn here. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive, getting behind the wheel of this 2022 Ram 1500 TRX. Once again, massive shout out to Carolina Auto Direct. Check out their website, you guys. They have a huge selection of nearly brand new inventory, the largest that I've seen. All their info is down below. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I'll see you guys in the next video.